What's up guys, welcome to another video. So today I want to talk about how to actually set up with an easy and an effective way webinars to sell your info product, your services or your online courses. And so I made this small video. Again, this is going to be very technical, so hopefully you actually find this interesting. I know it's a lot of technical data, nothing really fun, no editing. I'm just trying to make these videos as straight to the point as I can so you can actually get some value while also saving you some time so you don't really, sit down and spend a lot of time watching these videos. And so let's get into the video, right? So if you're a beginner, you might actually be wondering what's a webinar. Well, a webinar is a live virtual event that's executed online, and you probably already know that, just want to make sure you know. And it's an educational or instructive session that includes audio and visual communication between a speaker and attendees. And so, webinars are a fantastic tool for selling online courses because they actually allow you to connect with your audience on a very personal level, showcase your expertise, and actually provide value before asking for a sale. And so, if you think behind the whole concept of a webinar, let's say it's a 1 hour long video, and you just watch a person um explaining his whole life, his whole expertise, how he came up to be the person that he is today, and you basically kind of connect with this guy. Like, oh, I just spent an hour watching this guy, and kind of like within this 1 hour, you can connect. Can have actually such a good connection level with the um not with the viewer, with the actual guy who's hosting the webinar. Sorry, because again, the viewer is just going to see the whole process. He's going to get so much value within 1 hour. And basically, the more he watches you, the more he trusts you. That's how it goes. And that's why there's a always a smaller conversion with Instagram sales from Instagram, because people don't really build trust with you. Because they only watch your reels, and your reels are very short form content, right? If you have, let's say, if you do a lot of YouTube, right, you get a lot of traffic from YouTube. The people there, they're used to actually watching more long form content, and so they will have more of a build trust with you before actually making a sale. And so the whole concept of the webinar is basically taking this short form concept of building trust and applying it to with a online video form, basically, right, with a live streaming form. And so let's get into these small system that I created. Basically, it's a very simple system. Again, nothing too complicated, just some simple stuff that you can actually go and apply from now and get your first webinar running. And again, I don't want to like have give you some hopes, because honestly webinars are something very hard, and I don't want to like again give your hopes down. But honestly, I've talked with a lot of people who actually run webinars, and most of them told me that their first couple webinars were really bad. Like, when I say bad, they didn't really have any sales, and so that's a completely normal process. You need to actually figure out what's the selling point, when you should actually um start selling a product, right. There's a lot of stuff that you have to figure out yourself as you're going, but again, this is a process that everybody's using, right. It's a very popular process, and so you can use this. You just need to actually just add a bit of your own taste to it to make it perfect, right, and then you will have webinars that sell, basically. And then you can go, and after you master your webinar, right, you can just record it and use and start an evergreen funnel, which is amazing. It's going to bring you so much money. And yeah, so sorry, I kind of like got off here. So the first step to running a webinar is basically the content that it will have, the content creation phase. And so start by creating valuable content for your webinar. This should be closely related to your online course. Again, always have value that will actually be uh connected to what you're selling, right? It's like, let's say you're selling like a piano course, right? If you're doing a webinar about how to actually do digital marketing, it's not really going to connect basically then, right? So always, again, I know this kind of sounds stupid, but make sure, like, always make sure that the content that you have inside of your webinar and the thing that you're selling is kind of matching, right? Again, if it's a very niche down thing that you're selling, make sure that people will actually understand it at the end. And so um, aim to actually provide about 45 to 60 minutes of pure value. Again, this is something very subjective, because at the end of the day, people really do not have much free time in their lives, right? They're always busy, they're always looking to do something with their lives. And so, something that I'm planning to test, honestly, down the lane is having webinars that are actually 30 minutes long. Like, this is a very fast, right? Think of it as a video, right? A tutorial, a strategy, something like, let's say, yeah, basically a 30-minute long webinar that has everything, like the full blueprint. It goes with starting, value, and then selling, pitching the services. Because honestly, I do think that personally, a 30-minute video webinar will actually perform way better than a 1 hour long webinar, because again, people will start dropping and in the, let's say, 45 mark minute. Yeah, sorry, kind of getting out the way, just my personal knowledge, so you can actually know what I'm thinking as well. So the next step is promotion. So start promoting your webinar at least 2 weeks in advance. Use all your channels, email list, social media, blog posts, and even paid ads if your budget actually allows it. And paid ads are a super cheat code, honestly. It's a cheat code to webinars. Because again, as I said earlier, webinar is a way to build connection, to build trust with your audience. So even if you have cold traffic running to your webinar, it's going to still perform amazing, because these people will actually watch you, they will learn about you, they will start to trust you, because again, they spend an hour with you, they spend 30 minutes with you, right? They kind of feel like they know you a little bit better after this. And so you will kind of, again, convert cold traffic, but as well as warm traffic. It's amazing. It's a cheat code. Honestly, I love webinars. And so the next step is registration page. Again, something very simple. Just create a compelling registration page. A very simple one. Do not need to make it so good that the prospect like kind of lands and says, "Oh my God, this is so good. I need to just make something straight to the point, right? This is a webinar. I'm going to talk about this. If your pain point is this is what I'm going to talk about. This is my secret mechanism. It works. Like, this is what I've gotten from it. Um, I'm going to completely give it for free, right? In the webinar sign out, it's in the in a it's like in 2 days, right? Time is running out. We have limited spot. No, wait, no, never mind. No scarcity here. But yeah, and so next step is reminder emails. So send reminder emails to those who actually have registered. One immediately after registration, another 24 hours before the webinar, and one final reminder 1 hour before the webinar starts. Again, the number of emails that you send out isn't really like there's no numbers, right? The more you actually send, the better, because at the end of the day, people need to be reminded to join something, right? They need to be a lot of CTA. So maybe one before 4 hours, like that's an amazing one. One 30 minutes before the webinar, one 8 hours, right? You have to kind of get it in there, right? So people can actually show up. Do not be afraid to spam them. I know it kind of sounds salesy, but you need to do what you have to do. Realize that people will not mind you. They will just get reminded, and that's what's the actual, well, that's what matters. So the next step is webinar structure. So start your webinar with a brief introduction about yourself and the topic. And so I want to say something, I want to add something here. Basically this is where you will say, talk about yourself to build some authority, to build some agenda, right? And basically tell your zero to hero story. But from what I learned, people don't really care about your own journey, right? They only care about themselves. They have this one problem and they want to get rid of it, and they're looking for solutions, right? They have a desired station. They want to go somewhere, or they want to get from somewhere, get out of somewhere. And so the one thing that they actually matters to them is how fast they can get to the desired station, how fast, how cheap, right? How consuming it will be, how much effort, energy, right? This is what matters to them. It doesn't matter your zero to hero journey. The only thing that matters to your prospects is their desired station and how fast they can get it, how easy they can get it. That's what you need to focus on. Remember. But again, it's a webinar. You can do that. You can build your zero. You can talk about yourself. You need to. You actually need. It's essential, because that's how you build trust. That's how you build authority. That's how you, uh, connect with your prospects. And so basically, after you did a small introduction, spend the majority of the time delivering valuable content. And towards the end, introduce your online course. Explain how it can help attendees further and offer a special discount for webinar attendees. A discount is always nice. Again, it's essential. You cannot really have like a without a discount because it will again increase your conversion. So the next one is questions and answer session. Basically, also always include a Q&A session at the end of your webinar. This allows attendees to ask questions and give you the chance to address any objections they might have about your course. Again, something about objections, you're gonna actually, if you already have an email list, which you probably already have, a small one, I would suggest you doing a lot of emails about objections. Like try to minimize objections before the webinar. Try to make as many emails as you can that you address multiple objections about money, about time, about can I do this? Is it possible, right? A lot of objections, try to answer them in the email before the webinar. This is going to help you so much. Trust me. So do that. So the next one is follow up, right? After the webinar, send a follow-up email thanking attendees for the time, include a link to the webinar replay and remind them about your course offer. This is just, this is again a good gesture from you, showing that you actually value them. You're sending them everything, more value at the end of the day, right? Sending them more value. And so, the next one, the last step is course promotion. So, continue to promote your course for a few days after the webinar. Send a few reminder emails about the offer and expiry to create urgency. And so, this is very simple, right? I can upload this to a file if you guys want it and send it to you over DM on Instagram if you're looking for this. Basically, this is very in depth. Honestly, this is not in depth, but I can make an in depth one about all the steps. And so, yeah, and remember, after the webinar, follow up with your attendees, send them. Oh, sorry, I kind of like did it twice here. And so, remember, webinars are not just about selling, they're about building relationships and trust with your audience. This is how you need to look at them. Again, try to present your offer, your solution at the end of the day, at the end of the webinar, or towards the end actually, and always target the desired station or the problem solving, right? There's two type of prospects, the one who actually want to get away from the pain and ones who actually are looking to go towards a desired station. And so you need to kind of address both, right? And so this is the whole thing. This is how you can actually set up an easy and effective ways to actually to sell your course, your online course. And so, yeah, if you have any questions, make sure to DM